After The Last Waltz, Robbie Robertson and Levon Helm had a falling out that has been described as one of music's longest-running feuds. Levon Helm passed away from cancer in 2012.
Well, I want to talk about your relationship with Levon Helm. You've mentioned him any number of times. You're an only child. The relationship obviously was close. Is it too close to describe it as he became a brother to you?
No, he was the closest thing in my life I've ever had to a brother. And in this documentary, Once We're Brothers, it ends up focusing on the brotherhood of the band. And it was such an extraordinary relationship. The personal part of it equaled the music, and the music equaled this relationship and brotherhood. And because everything was that close, we were able to do something unlike anybody else. And I hold it precious.
Now, eventually, you and Levon, you said you were very close, but that went bad.
Well, it didn't go bad for me. But years after the band, 10 years or more after this, Levon hit some hard times. He was having some tough times with health and financial situations, and I've been told too, some mental health issues, and he became angry. And he turned his anger towards me at this stage, which I was surprised. For all the years we were together, we never had a crossword, ever, about anything. And now, years later, it's over a decade that we haven't been together, he says, I didn't treat him right, or I didn't do this. And I understood. I knew him. And this was part of his nature, that he wasn't great at accepting certain responsibilities on himself. It was always somebody else's doing. So anyway, when he came out and he said some things, that I caused these problems for him.
Yeah, in his book, his own book, he was tough on you.
He was tough on me, but I talked to him on the phone one time, and he said, He said, that book was bullshit. He said, I didn't write that book. This guy wrote it. And he said, he put a bunch of stuff in there. I said, I know, but you said some things about me in there. He said, I know, but some of them I felt at the time, and some of them I didn't, and blah, blah. And it was just kind of a vagueness. I didn't even respond to it because I knew him. There was no, people say, well, what about the feud? There was no feud. There was no fight. It takes two people to be in a fight. And I ended up, when I heard he was dying, I dropped everything and I went to the hospital, and I spent time with him before he was gone. And I sat there and I thought about all the amazing and beautiful things that we had done together. And that was it. That was my connection to him.
But when a friendship like that, a relationship like that goes bad, it generally leaves deep scars. Is that still the case with you when you think about Levon?
I'm really caught up in the magnificence of the journey that we were on together, and the unimaginable circumstances that we happened to be at that place at that time, and the musicality that we invented together, the experiences that money can't buy, that you couldn't write these things, all of that. That's what it means to me. In life, I don't have time for, any bitterness or any of that stuff. I was sad for Levon that he had to go there, and I was on a mission of following my path and growing and wonderful things happening, and I felt terrible for him, but I couldn't fix it. He knew that I wasn't angry, and so I just let it go.
And you were and are at peace with it.
Absolutely.